fatal thought impact, past painful thoughts. In fact, I blast tasteful thoughts and past. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do continue, in the last part, Deku and Aki, they were going through the final trials that Vaticha has put them through. And through at least finishing these trials, they were able to become predators. This is the second to last rank before Elite Predator. And if they reach the Elite Predator rank, they will achieve the highest rank in the yautja system. Now, it took many months of grueling training and effort to get to this point. And Deku and Aki, they went through their last training with Vaticha, where he exposed them to a yautja illness, or an infectious chemical that would allow them to have powerful hallucinogenic nightmares. Now, they traveled 3 weeks through the forest and over 500 miles away just to be exposed to this chemical. And Vaticha, he wanted to make sure that their mental strength was weakened, and that physically they were tired. Now, Deku and Aki, they went on similar journeys. Their nightmares, their fears, and their worries were turned against them in their, well, dreams, if you don't want to put it that way. And it ultimately culminated with Deku realizing that he is very distant from humanity. He has taken way too many steps away from them. And he feels like he might need to actually take a few of those steps backwards to get closer to them. He knows more about the yautja honor code than he remembers about his time on Earth. He can hardly remember his mother's face at some points, but he can ultimately at least repeat a certain line if you do ask him to repeat it of the honor code, or even of yautja history. And you do actually have a key. She is trying to realize something. Is she a yautja? Do people just treat her strangely? She's trying to understand everything. She has issues with her mother and father, and, well, unresolved things about her older sister. She's trying to think more about her relationship with Deku because of the way she's been treated in the past. And, well, yeah. While she does strive for glory, she ultimately does wonder if she even does really even want to hunt anymore. She doesn't know if she just, well, wants to set down her blades and retire them. She's climbed so far, and to put away all that hard work and just give up and do what everyone's been saying all her life, it feels wrong to her. But she is open to the idea of taking a break with them. Set them down just for a little bit, and see how life could possibly change just that little bit. Now, with that out of the way, we do actually at least open to Deku. It's been about 2 weeks since he's returned back from that nightmare experience. And Deku, in this amount of time, he's been acting very strangely to a lot of people. Deku, he doesn't seem to be participating in training. And while Deku, he does exercise and work out at home, a lot of people, they haven't really been reporting seeing him too much. They're looking for a guy who he's walking around in yautja armor, and has the recognizable scar on his biomask. However, Deku, he has actually left his apartment before, just in human clothing. And a lot of people, they actually haven't even really recognized him. The city's large, the city's big. There's a lot of people around. One face to remember, it would just get lost in there. And many people, they actually do have some worries about Deku. However, Deku, he's at least expressed to many of them that he's alright. It's just after what he went through, he needs some time off. And Deku, he's actually currently at home. He's sitting down and reading a book, as it's something from his future that he's reading. He's kind of intrigued by this. He thought it was a stupid book at first. It's just one of the many sitting on his shelf, but he's so intrigued by it. The concepts, they're unlike anything he's seen before. It's a complex series of, well, everything. Now, you do actually have a key who she does walk into the apartment and ask Deku if he's alright, as she does go to set down 2 containers of what Deku can smell to be food. Him actually somewhat going to turn and look directly at a key, as she does go to walk towards the bedroom and go to get changed. As whenever Deku, he does go to actually stand up, walk over, and sit down on the island, he does actually start to wait. As whenever Deku does walk back into the room, she is wearing some comfy pajamas. And Deku, he actually does wait for her to sit down before he does open his own container. Her doing the same thing as she does go to set her hand down, and Deku does actually go to reach out and grab it. Aki actually going to turn her hand and squeeze onto Deku's, asking if he's alright. Yeah, yeah. I'm just still kinda, you know. I understand, Scar. From what Valzi told me, a lot of strange things happen after the visions. Do they? I'm still kind of fuzzy on that. Yes. Well, it wasn't entirely out of our system. We're still technically fighting the infection. And our bodies, they should be fine. Physically, yes, but mentally the scars will remain. It's something that he was quite adamant about mentioning to you. I see. But we're predators now. Yeah. Yes, we are. I was called a while back. My father, he congratulated me. And my mother, she hasn't reached out to me, but my father has at least expressed that she herself was actually quite intrigued about my recent rank up. I see. So, what did she say to you? She hasn't said anything to me, Scar. Or Izuku. She hasn't said anything to me. But I fear that she'll try to reach out again. That time will be coming soon. Yeah, yeah. We can worry about that whenever it happens, alright? I don't know. I feel like I have enough authority to push her away, tell her off, but I'm just not sure. My mom reacts to strength, Scar. She acts to power. She acts to, well, authority. If it's not one higher than hers, she doesn't listen. If it's not one that commands the same amount of authority as her, she won't listen. That's why, at least with my father, she has some sort of middle ground. She knows his authority is just as good as her own. So that's where I'm torn. Now, Deku, he does understand what Aki's talking about. She's been mentioning this to him a lot. And she's at least gone over it in her own head a few times. He'd be lying if he said he didn't do it too. And you do actually have where Deku, he at least does go to express his own problems. And Aki, she actually does stare at Deku as he's eating some food with a pair of chopsticks. Him telling her about how he's at least been thinking about trying to get an engineering degree. What exactly would that qualify you for, Scar? It would, well, technically, now it's just a piece of paper. But In the time I left, it would have qualified me for a lot. I'd be able to do things. I'd help out a lot in places people might not expect. I don't know. I just, I had this miraculous idea and I liked it. I always seemed to be so driven by finding out how things worked, taking them apart and putting them back together. I just don't know how to explain it. Call it me following my quirk, my instincts. But I was so in love with that idea. And now, well, the piece of paper I'm talking about, it would mean nothing, but it would just be nice for me to have. I can at least look at it and know I learned enough to earn it. It's like a rank up or a gift or a weapon you receive. Hmm, I see. Sort of like Valzi's whips. Hmm, yeah, like those. He gave us those as gifts from his personal collection. In fact, I still do need to learn how to work that thing. I understand, Scar. You've been training with it, have you not? Yeah, I've been training on the roof. Scar, I'm not too sure what to say. Yeah, I know. I know. You're still worried about it, aren't you? Yes, I am. I've been intrigued with my time. Intrigued? Yes. I've been using my free time to look into yautja records and do similar things to what you've been doing. You've been reading yautja information, history, tech logs, maybe? Yes and no. I've been finding subjects that do look intriguing to me, and I've been learning about them. In fact, I've learned about many warriors and hunters from the past. I've even learned about a few of your human concepts, but in yautja ways. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I just I've been thinking about it a lot. Maybe going to Yautja Prime and taking a trip there. Again, but staying there for a while. Really? You want to do that? It's an idea, Scar. Granted, you would not be able to stay on the planet with me, unless we change the way a housing unit is set up with its structure, and the air filtration, it would be a key, a key. I get it. Hmm? What is it? A key. That's something that sounds very personal. If you want to do that, you can, but I don't want to stop you. Really? Yeah. I mean, it would suck not having you here, but I understand. This means a lot to you, right? That's how I feel about this piece of paper I'm talking about. Deku trying to at least give her a bit of a smile. However, she can tell how nervous Deku is, how shaky his hands are. It's so weird. She's never seen him act this way, and he's just talking about some paper? Now, Aki, she doesn't really fully understand it, but she does know enough about this stuff to understand what Deku is actually trying to get. And Deku, he at least does know what Yautja Prime does mean to Aki. He knows the way she reacted when they first got there. He saw her face light up on the ship whenever they were hovering in its atmosphere. It was a beautiful place to go. It's where she can call home. A place where she can take off the biomask and breathe the air. And that's something that Deku, he does sort of think about for a minute, as he does stare at a key. He kinda overlooks it sometimes. She is an alien. She and him don't really breathe the same atmosphere, do they? Now, Aki, she actually does go to look up from Deku, or look up from her meal and see Deku, who he is actually just staring at her for a minute. Are you alright? Yeah, sorry. Um, I zoned out there for a minute. Hmm? Are you okay, Scar? Yeah, I'm fine. Deku, he does somewhat go to try and pull back his hands. However, whenever Aki does actually feel that, Deku, he actually is going to somewhat squeeze down a little hard. As Aki, she does go to look down at her hand and Deku's. Before Deku, he does go to loosen his grip a bit and hold on a bit tight. Aki, she does think that there's something going through Deku's mind. Something that might be eating or tearing at him. But she does go to leave that. She's at least glad Deku understands. Now, as the two do continue eating, a few minutes do pass. Before, whenever Deku he does hear a loud knock on his door, he does want to go to turn with a mouthful of noodles and go to stare directly at the door. As whenever he does look towards a key, she actually has to stand up and throw herself backwards. Her backing up and rolling onto the couch. As he does go to lay down before going to grab a blanket and roll directly onto the floor. Her doing so silently by using her hands to slow down her fall. Now, as it does actually happen, you do have Deku, who he does go to just bring up his hand and grab Aki's bowl of food. Him going to set it down into a place where the person they wouldn't be able to see from the open door. And as Deku, he does go to do that, he does go to stand up, turn, and go towards the door to open it. Now, whenever he does actually walk over and press the button, the door does slide open, and Deku, he does see an unexpected visitor. As well he expected John or Kaylee even, it was a surprise because it wasn't a human. It was Vaticha. And Deku, he just completely froze. As the yautja, he does ask if Scar has time to talk openly. Uh, yeah, I'm free right now, but why are you here, Vaticha? Deku going to actually somewhat move his hand up, as he has going to bring down one of his knees. Vaticha stopping Deku by bringing a hand up to his shoulder. Uh, what is it, Vaticha? Deku getting a bit nervous. And Vaticha, he does congratulate Deku for passing that trial. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot. I understand. You've done well, especially for a human. I was worried you would not survive those trials, Scar. In fact, it was why I was holding you back from them. Holding me back? Yes. You seem to be human, yes. However, there was no way to know exactly how that would affect you. I'm guessing the ancient yautja who exposed you, he knew enough about this. More than me, perhaps. Exactly who was it again who trained you? Oh, Deku saying the yautja's name. As he does watch as Vaticha, he does somewhat have his eyes widen a bit. And Deku can tell just from that, this guy's name probably carries quite a bit. As Vaticha, he does go to just bring up his hand and hold it out to Deku. Deku seeing a stick? Thanks? Deku bringing his hand up and grabbing it. As it does take him a second to register. He was given a metal stick, but the weight on it. Deku at least going to realize that it's heavier on one end. And whenever he does actually go to somewhat shift it a bit, he does feel a bit more weight increasing the other side. This weapon is meant to be swung. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now, Deku thinks he knows the purpose of this weapon. However, Vaticha, he does go to somewhat grab the stick in Deku's hand, shift it and turn it, before going to reach down at the base of it and go to do something. As the moment he does get to do something, you do actually have where the top of the stick, where Deku does go to somewhat look, it does have a beam of light shoot out and curve. And the moment Deku does see that, he does just stare at it for a minute. Him somewhat going to back up, as Vaticha, he does express to Deku that this is a very elegant weapon, and it is one from his own personal collection. Uh, thank you. Is this a gift? Yes, human. In fact, this one here, it is a important relic to me. However, I've saved the most important relic to me for my daughter. Huh? Now, Akita's going to hear that statement. She wants to jump up and ask what he's talking about. However, the current situation would not look good. Her, a yautja, in human clothing, in said human's apartment. If this is found out by her father, she doesn't know how to explain this to him. As we do actually have our Vaticha, he does continue. He is going on about a few things to Deku, and he's at least staying there with two members of what Deku assumes to be his elites. As you do actually have our Vaticha, he does go to scan the open apartment. The place is kinda huge. It's like a studio apartment, but there are certain walls in certain places. But it is still a very open concept. In Vaticha, he does ask about Deku's living conditions, since, as he does at least go to point out, there are 2 cups over there by his television set, and by the couch. However, whenever he does look towards Deku's sleeping quarters, he does at least notice some wear on both sides of the bed, asking if that is an old mattress for the leader. And he does at least go to point out silverware from where Deku and Aki were eating. And he does at least ask Deku about this, asking if it's possible that that is not wear and tear, and if Deku actually does at least have his own mate. Huh? Vaticha, that's a very personal human subject. Is it now? I was aware that you humans, well, physically we are very similar. I'm well aware of that fact. However, your rituals are different. Yes, they are. We don't really do things the way the yautja do. In fact, if I'm to speak freely, sir. No, you do not have to call me sir. You are a predator, one rank below me. I didn't expect very much from you, Scar, I will be honest. However, you are worthy. Worthy? Worthy of what? Worthy of my respect, Scar. You are somebody I expected to die. However, you still draw breath. You still live. You still survive. Even when Vaticha has not. I'm still sorry about her, sir. Again, Scar, so formal. Him going to somewhat turn away, as he does express to his guards to please go back towards the elevator, since he would wish to speak personally with this one. Now, Deku, he does sort of assume he's in trouble, as whenever Deku, he does at least make sure Vaticha is looking away, Deku, he does go to bring up his hand and at least go to create a sound. Him going to snap his fingers a certain way that Aki, she does listen. She hears the click of Deku's fingers, however she does then hear the second click of Deku flicking off of his other finger. And Aki, she does realize what exactly that might mean, as she does go to try and get ready. Deku, he does actually have Vaticha step into the room, as Aki, she does go to try to hide herself a bit better, as she does go to completely cover herself with a blanket, and then go to bundle herself up small, her trying to fold down to be very tiny. And while she is doing this, you do actually have Vaticha, who he does step into the room and go to look around. He immediately notices the second plate of food, as he does at least express to Deku that he's very sorry for interrupting, especially if they're currently, at least, trying to hide or be sneaky. He's aware that certain humans, they do not exactly like being seen with another person. Now, Deku, he does get a turn to Vadacha, expressing that they're actually not really here now. Hmm? What do you mean? They left earlier this morning, and they might not come back. Was it a disagreement? Uh, no, it wasn't. It was their choice. Hmm, I see. It is strange. I do not really understand the way your species works. Now, Vadacha, he does actually go to walk over. Him looking down at a metal chair and asking if that would be suitable for him to sit down on, or upon. And Deku, he at least does try to think for a minute. Him going to slowly say he's not exactly too sure. And Vadacha, he does go to test it. He does sit down on a large chair. And after it does at least go to make a bit of a cracking sound, he does go to steady his body weight out before going to set down the weapon he just gave Deku, expressing to him that through Deku, he has found quite a number of things. Hmm? What exactly do you mean? I have found, in the best possible words, a bit of a family within you. Huh, that's sort of weird. Funny you say it that way. What? Do you not feel the same way? I will express this to you in the simplest way possible, Scar. The words your species will understand. In a way, you have become like a son to me. And I see your achievements. I see you stride and I see you prosper. It would be a shame to see such a noble warrior such as that die. Uh, yeah, it sounds good. I'm honored, sir, but exactly why are you telling me this? Aki going to listen. From what it sounds like, her father, he may or may not have discovered them, especially with the way he's talking to Deku. Listen, Scar. Deku feeling his back straighten as he does try to keep it cool. Uh, yes, Vadacha? I know much about you, Scar. Your species is strange. Your culture is very much all over the place. Different regions, places, people, and developments. I feel as such my species may have influenced that. And if we have changed the natural course of your planet, I do not exactly know if we may have been the cause. The cause of what? The engineers. Our people were long among the stars whenever the engineers were around. In fact, we influenced early cultures of your planets. We showed them how to build things. And I believe that we may have rubbed off on them. Uh, okay. I think about it sometimes. If we did not try so hard to hunt down the xenomorph in those days, to test and hunt your species, maybe there was a chance you would not have grown to be violent. Be what the engineers may not have seen you as. Uh, okay. I don't know if that would be possible. What do you mean? Vaticha, humans are inherently violent. They seem to do many strange things, and we're all unpredictable. It's either violence or peace. Fascinating. That is still a strange concept to me. What do you mean? The way you phrase humanity, it seems distant. You seem to have changed. Uh, yeah, I've gotten that a lot. Hmm. Have you? Yes, I have. But may I ask a question? Go ahead. You say I'm like a son to you, but what about a key? And, well, from what I understand from your culture, Vaticha, do you not possess other children? I do. However, many of them, they've tainted my name. It's tainted? I have had many children, Scar. Many sons, many daughters. However, all of them, they wish to know themselves with my title. They associate themselves with my name, not making one for their own. Many of them have used this and tried to get me to bail them out of situations. I'm sorry? This is information not even a key knows. Uh, oh, okay. Deku trying to think. If this guy finds out about this, he's probably going to be even more dead. Now, back into the world. Deku, he's just sitting there. As Vaticha does express to Deku that, of his many children, he only had 2 sons. Huh? You do? You did? Yes. One of my sons. He was intriguing to say the least. He was honorable. He listened. In fact, he is the current rank that you are. He is. He was. Uh, okay, is he not still around? That is the thing, Scar. He attempted to overthrow our clan. Hmm? What? He tried to stage a mutiny. He tried many things to disrupt my leadership. And the way he wanted to lead the yautja, lead the clan, it sickened me. He became poisoned by his own power. And he wasn't a son of mine I could let live. Ah, damn. That's, uh, that's. I'm sorry. Do not apologize to me, Scar. My other son, he was also not too good. Oh, I see. Is he dead? I do not know. That is the other problem. The other secret I do not wish a key to know. Half of my children are dead, Scar. Half of them, they're still alive. However, a key, she, is one of the only one to reach this rank. Really? Yes, indeed. One of 4. You know of the second. The other 2, they, well, they are still alive. However, they've gone far from me. Have they? Yes, Scar. And then there is a key. A key, she is, well, she is my daughter. A key is someone going to listen. She's gonna know she has that many siblings. How, when did, that's hard to believe. She only thought there was Vasya and her. And then there's her brothers, actual blood brothers that are both dead. Now, Akita is trying to keep her cool. As we do have our Vaticha, he does tell Deku his opinion on Aki. Aki is his daughter. She was thought to be of great things. She had the makings and the potential to be a perfect replica of the two. Be a replica of Vaticha and Tia Zicha. Now, Deku, he does listen, as he does assume that Aki is as well. And Deku, he does listen to what Vaticha does say. Aki, she is the only one of his children who they have not been poisoned by their relation with him. What? Yes. My children. They seem to corrupt. In fact, I was fairly certain to believe that Vasya would turn out the same way. She is young. She was young. However, I thought her to be different in a way. I may not be able to say for certain, Scar, because of the hunt. But Vasya, I believed one day she would overtake me. She would kill me. But I was ready for that day. My daughter would lead our clan, and ultimately, things would go good. Maybe I step down, maybe I retire. And then there was Aki. I've thought of her more. She is the only one of my children who understand their limitations. Now, Vaticha, he does continue. She is the only one of his children who they have never been corrupted by power. They do not show greed. They do not show negative traits. He sees Aki as hardened, more understanding, more following of the honor code. She has to put herself to dedicate for honor. She has to push her body in ways and in extremes to get ahead of other hunters she is around. Aki, she's been to the very bottom. She's had people kick her around and push her back her whole life. And she understood exactly where she has to start from to go to high places. Now, Vaticha, he does continue. He believes that one day Aki, she will return to his clan and take her spot. Maybe even lead her mother's clan. Or be the bridge between the two. Possibly unite the clan and create a stronger family. Now, Deku, he does listen. Vaticha, he has a miraculous dream for Aki to achieve. It sounds just amazing. And Aki herself, she is listening. She's hearing her father talk about her in unexpected ways. The way he views her, the way he sees her. And his reasons behind it. Why he's been so encouraging lately and why he was so tough on her. Aki going to somewhat unexpectedly relax a bit. She was so tense. And, well, she was as sturdy as iron. The way she was curled up. She does somewhat go to shift around a bit and uncover herself with a blanket. As she does draw in a breath, as Vaticha and Deku, they did both hear the movement. And Deku, he felt like there were daggers climbing up his spine whenever he heard that. Vaticha actually going to turn his head and look towards the couch. The thing is relatively large, and he cannot see whoever is lying down on it because of the way the back of it is curved. He does ask Deku if he is certain that his guest has left, because he believes if that is not true, he may either have an intruder or possible infestations. Sorry, actually. Sorry for what? My house guest. They're still here. Your house guest. They're here? Yes, they are. And I found it to be embarrassing if you saw me. You know. I see. You do not wish to allow me to see you with your guard down, Scar. You believe if I see you vulnerable, if I see you act that way, you may not recover. Is that the understanding of the human ego? Um, well, yes, sir. And because me and my house guest, we were sort of taking a day together. I see. I am sorry to have interrupted this, Scar. You must have been very busy. Yes, sir, we were. But, if you are going to continue, then no, I'm sorry. I'm going to somewhat stand up. As the metal chair, it does somewhat go to release all the tension it was carrying. And Deku he does watch as Vaticha he does go to walk back towards the door, open it with the press of a button, and go to step out. Him going to turn back to Deku and expressing to him that he is very proud of him, and now he must find his daughter. As he does go to close the door. And Deku, he does go to just turn and walk over to the couch, where Deku, he does just stare down at a key. As a key, she is just laying there on her arms and legs. And she does at least have her arms completely outstretched and her elbows touching the couch. As her legs, they actually are fully laying on the ground. And Deku he does ask Aki if she really had to do that. I am sorry. No, I'm sorry. I, you just, he could have. I know, but I didn't know what to do. I couldn't find an opening. I know. But, Jesus Christ. How much of that did you hear? All of it. Fuck. This is bad. I know. No, I don't think you do, Key. If he finds out about this now, he is going to mount it in his throne room. Scar, listen. He has not found out. He's going to. No, he is not. He gave a surprise visit here. That is all. He came close. But we had things properly planned out for situations such as this. We were ready. Okay. As happy as I am that we've planned for this, the fact that you're talking about it like it was a hunt, I do not like my odds, because I know I am not the hunter in this situation, Aki. Scar? Yes, you are freaking out. I know. Now, Deku, he does go to walk back over. Him going to just walk over to the counter and go to try and sit down in a chair. However, Deku, he immediately does have the chair break under his weight, as he does go falling and crashing onto the ground. Now, Deku, after going to get back up, he does go to just look down at the chair and see that it's broken. Him trying to take a deep breath, as after he does go to exhale, he does go to turn and just smash into the wall where a support beam is. And the moment after he does do that, he does go to try and just steady himself out, relax himself a bit more, and not throw another punch. As we do actually have a key. She does just try and think about it all. Her going to, well, throw herself back over the couch and lay down. Her feet dangling over the top of the couch, as she is at least trying to think about what she heard. She's never heard her father talk about her in such a manner. the way he was talking about her, he's actually proud of her. He actually is proud of her. This is, well, it's just so strange. Now, Aki, she actually is going to somewhat try and smile, or at least the best way that a yautja could. And she does at least have that linger in her mind, as I do believe that that is a good point to leave this part off of. And I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.